This video is mainly about the Iliad by Homer. But before we begin having the video itself, let us know the root of the war between the Greeks and the Trojans by knowing the story, Apple of Discord. Let's begin the story. There was a wedding between Peleus and Thetis. Zeus had arranged the wedding himself. Just a little background about Thetis, she is a sea nymph. Zeus loves the goddess, but received a prophecy that a son born from his intercourse with Thetis would be more powerful than he is. Zeus fears the prophecy, so he arranged the wedding of Thetis to a mortal man, Peleus, to preserve his title as the ruler of the gods, preventing history to repeat itself. He intentionally not invite his daughter Eris, for the goddess brings nothing but chaos. Eris for the Greek, Discordia for the Roman, goddess of discord, chaos and strife, daughter of Zeus and Hera. Talent: she can ruin a wedding if not invited. But when Eris learned that she was not invited, she gate-crashed the wedding and rolls a golden apple into the wedding party, which is known as the Apple of Discord. Many gods and goddesses stepped away from it, but Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite quarreled over it, for inscribed in the apple was "to the fairest." They asked Zeus who it belonged to. He refused to decide because Athena and Aphrodite were his daughters. Hera, on the other hand, was his wife. So he commanded the three of them to ask Paris, a mortal prince. But before he was recognized as a prince, he had experience to be a shepherd first. How? Let me tell you. King Priam and Queen Hecuba are expecting their second child, which is Alexandros, but now we know him as Paris. But the unborn child was prophesied to be the reason of the fall of Troy. So, King Priam needs to execute the child once born to save the kingdom of Troy. When Alexandros was born, King Priam asked a herdsman to kill the infant, for they cannot do it themselves. So as the herdsman. So he just left the infant in Mount Ida to die. But he was able to be saved by drinking milk from a female bear. After 9 days, the herdsman came back, surprised that the child was unharmed and still alive. So he decided to adopt the child and named him Paris. But when King Priam and Queen Hecuba learned that their son is still alive, they accepted him, disregarding the prophecy about him. Going back to the story, the three goddesses went to Paris, not the place, but the person, and asked, "Who among us is the fairest?" Paris couldn't decide, so the goddesses bribed him. Athena promised him victory and glory in battle, Aphrodite with the most beautiful woman in the world, and Hera, on the other hand, with richest beyond wildest fancy. And he had chosen Aphrodite with the promise of the beautiful woman in the world, which was Helen of Sparta. The Iliad by Homer. To sum it up, this is the battle between the Greeks and the Trojans, for one woman was abducted by the Prince of Troy. It led to many deaths and burnt down the city of Troy. The next part of the video will introduce you the characters mentioned and played a huge part in the story. Those who sided to Greeks is labeled with an A. Those who sided to Trojans is labeled with letter T.